Yeah, thank you, absolutely, yes, I know Taylor is looking forward to being able to come out and,
Yeah, we've got five people.
oh, that's great, awesome, nice, okay. So hi everybody, I don't know if we're feel ready to start or, okay. So I'm Kima with Braille Institute, and thank you so much for having us here today. I've brought simulator glasses of the major causes of sight loss for adults, and then also a box full of macular degeneration, because one person in particular that we were doing this in regards to does have a diagnosis of macular degeneration. And then you all have the tip sheets on communication skills, and you have the simulator card. You don't, though. So, sorry. There, and like I was saying, there might be even better tips that, so feel free to share with us too, any tips that you have. So sometimes the best way to understand sight loss and some of the ways to communicate with someone with sight loss is to experience a little taste of it yourself. And so with the glasses, we could pass it around if you would like. And then we can look at macular degeneration. I'll demonstrate human guide, and we can pair up if you would like to and practice it together. It's non-threatening, so you're not expected to know this or anything about it. And also to know it's a team effort. So it's never that it's, we have to know everything. It's that we're always a team with the person who's visually impaired. So and I'm sure all of this is how you all do things as well. So that I have to ask people, if they have a hearing issue too, even though our main thing is the sight loss. Many people do have hearing loss, and maybe I need to be on their right side or their left side to work best with them. And if I'm facing them like I'm facing John now, I would want to say, for example, Mary is 2 seats over to your left, John. So I would do it according to his right and left. So yeah, and just giving information. Sometimes things we take for granted is the very information someone visually impaired wants to hear. So without further, I don't know, some of you, did you know, anyone know Vicki?
Oh, love Vicki Zimmerman, right?
Yes, okay.
She's been here for years.
Yes, so she doesn't work with us anymore, but Vicki designed these glasses, so she wanted, yes.
Big personality, Vicki.
It tells you about Vicki, we miss her, yes, this is awesome. So this is her design of macular degeneration. So if you want to look at Vicki's glasses, we've got them here. And we also have glasses that were made by, we could just start with macular degeneration and everyone could get
This was missing.
a pair of glasses. Yeah, because I brought a box of these. And it'll find, this one might be macular with cataracts, or it's like got an additional thing there. And I've got some more of those. We'll see if he ends up getting Vicki's glasses.
Yeah.
It is hard.
It is hard.
Yeah, this would be a great picture.
Get around.
Yeah, you're right, that is good.
Good, Abby, to read glasses. I know. Yes, you get the special ones, and we're one short of the manual.
I know you want to keep reading yours. Do like an angle. I know. So this is what
We'll let you try Vicki's after. So, yeah.
So yes, macular degeneration and Parkinson's, which she was saying might cause blurry vision as well.
So, yeah, so what does it look like to you when you look through the glasses? Well, it looks like it's the hardest challenge you would have.
Right in front of you.
Yep, so you're not seeing, you have to look around, and we can use our sharp vision to look around, but that person's sharp vision is what's affected. So a lot of times we'll hear the big challenge is reading. And that's where Taylor, our low vision person, will be able to come in with some options on that for sure, and our technology department with Nikki. But occasionally someone has difficulty walking around. For example, Edith, you've got like a double challenge.
It's a hard time.
Yeah, that would be extra hard for sure, yes. So, you have an extra condition. This is, someone who designed these, designed this one as, specific to Parkinson's, so you might wanna look at it, too.
And why is this specific to Parkinson's?
It's his interpretation. I think a lot of times what I was reading is that there'll be a description of blurring of the vision. So, and it also is kind of similar to
Kind of
cataracts.
foggy.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
There's cataracts?
And,
Took it out already.
so cataracts,
Basically.
we don't have,
And I got implants
oh,
too.
we have like a couple more.
Bionic one.
Extra vision now. It is.
So you'll see, yeah, so following the blurry vision, which could be cataracts too, we're gonna look at some more cataract glasses.
So these are
Yeah.
definitely designer.
Yeah, sorry about the fit, and everyone, thank you for just like, the main thing, I don't want you to scratch yourself or anything with it. So take your time, and if you feel like you don't wanna put it on,
I know.
And
that's
so
fine.
this is, like, this looks like it's more clear and this is here.
Yeah, so maybe on one side, so someone might not really realize they've got,
Well, the cataracts in one eye and not in the other.
yeah. And then this is something more severe and challenging for sure. And
I don't think this is, well, this is definitely Jackie O.
And this is another one very similar to that one. And then we have, this one was designed to look for MS, which again is could be described as a blurry vision. Doesn't mean everyone with the condition would see this way, but it's a representation. Cataracts. So pretty light situation on those cataracts.
Look forward to doing. Slight cataract.
They're terrible.
So sorry, are these,
This one says that.
this cataract?
Cataracts.
Cataracts.
Yeah. And then these are here.
No, MS meaning.
Multiple sclerosis.
That's what I thought, those three.
Advanced cataract. Advanced cataract.
So is MS have specific vision issues?
Apparently there are, yeah, these are some things I don't know a lot about, and I've had students with MS, and, some of them have a little more difficulty.
were you that
than
bad?
see through those
The blurred
glasses,
vision?
yeah.
The cataract?
So I guess, with all of them, it's a spectrum.
I did a cataract.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's an advanced cataract.
Oh, do you wanna look through this? I'm sorry, I'm not even touching it to you. A
Um,
lot of them are like DUI or something.
Then
What
we've
is
got
this?
Advanced cataracts.
glasses.
They're the same, but they're more work.
I didn't know.
Okay, what's this one? Cataracts.
Oh, okay, not as bad as that.
Yeah, so.
This is bad.
Yes, so, yeah, different for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I know.
but someone could have cataracts with almost any of these other eye conditions for sure. And, not realize they've got them initially,
MS.
and then when it gets to, starts changing colors on them, but they don't see things the same, the colors the same, and they can't see it as well. Many times people will start limiting their world, so you've got a progressive eye condition and you're functioning, and then, you just start limiting, you start, well, I don't do that anymore, or I don't do that anymore, and that's how it's, I'm still able to be, I've talked to someone just recently about that, and, so we're trying to work on expanding her world, and her family's trying to give her some feedback. She's legally blind, and she, doesn't feel she needs to use a white cane to help her. Because it's just a tool, that when you're legally blind, you have the right, this is too on for me, but there are people who would think they're just the right height, so that's a personal preference, but generally speaking, it would be out long enough to be 2 steps ahead of my toes, and, it helps me stand upright. I can look ahead, use any remaining sight I've got ahead up there, and then I'm feeling, and I can even feel the texture of the carpet. So it's really very helpful, and then when I don't need it, it folds up and I can put it away and nobody knows I have it, right? So it gives you a lot of freedom, but people will resist it because they think that if they start using it, they'll never regain their sight, and that is their greatest hope. Is, of course, for any of us, it would be, right, that we want our vision back. But so she's going without it, and she said, well, my daughter did just give me information that I'm shuffling my feet now. And she said, I really didn't notice that. And there's a whole lot of things that she's, as she talks, she's just limited her world. Transportation-wise, she can't drive anymore, but she'll only go where her daughter and husband can drive her. But there's transportation available, and we do help people sign up for that and learn how to use it as well. So I don't know if you want to look at a white cane and just check it out. It doesn't mean it's for like the person
Is
that's.
this the tallest, this is the long?
No,
They come in those different.
yes, it could be like 60 inches, 62 inches, usually not beyond that, but yeah, it is a very long one though, yes.
Can you explain the different tips?
Yeah, that's what I was
There are
gonna
different
say.
levels.
There are different tips, so you can great, yeah, so your support cane, you're looking at that good non-slip tip and a shorter, stouter cane. This one, you're looking at a cane that would be dangerous to try to support yourself with. And that's not the largest, that's our marshmallow, it's not ours, but Ambutech makes the roller marshmallow tip. And it's a very popular tip, super popular. It's actually changed how people, the cane technique. Constant contact is most popular with children and adults now, where you don't lift it. And it's because of the invention of that tip. And the largest one is almost the size of a tennis ball for really rough surfaces, because the smaller the tip, the more it's gonna stick on things. So people who want a lot of tactile information, perfect. But if you want it kind of softened a bit for you where it's not sticking and jerking quite so much, then those roller tips are really excellent,
Would you
yes.
change it out depending where you're going or
You
whatever?
can with this particular tip style. It's a hook style and it's easy to do, but sometimes people actually have different canes. And there are there's a gentleman in Sedona who's invented some all-terrain canes and an urban travel cane that are hardier. And we're gonna have a workshop from him next month. And and they're good canes. And this is a really good cane. It's a premium graphite, and so it's very strong and lightweight. But yesterday I was working with someone who's using the slimline version of this. She's about 90, and it is about half the width of it. She does have that roller tip on it, but it has a slimmer sponge grip. So yeah, there's a lot more choices for people, so that we let them try different things.
And what would be the advantage? Is she just more
She's,
or something?
yeah, she's very tiny, and she's strong and agile and able. I was like, I couldn't believe what all she was doing. But she, likes to use it. This feels like she wants to use it, that littler one. It's still sturdy enough for her. She's tried this one, she can handle it, but she prefers the other, and that's what we're looking for, is someone to, it's gotta be safe for them, but also that they wanna use it. We don't want it sitting in a drawer. This company has made hot pink handles, blue handles, they're working on a purple handle. I've seen people who are like, I'm not using the cane, and they see those, they have enough vision that they could see it, they're like, yes.
Do you ever have people who need more support while they're walking, so they use a walker, but then have that they get out to assess their surroundings, like the person that we're talking about today?
Yes, I have to say with the rollator type of walker, we haven't seen a lot of success with that. We've tried it a lot. The greatest success I saw was with a gentleman who'd been in a wheelchair, got into one of those silver walkers with the tennis balls on the back, and we had an extra long one for him. It was this same design, and he would hold it, he had the strength to hold it, he would sweep, and stuck.
Wow.
Sweet, yeah, it was painstaking, but it was worth it to him, and he said he was gonna get out of that walker. I don't know, I haven't seen him in a long time, that was before the pandemic, but I was amazed at what he was able to achieve. So, yeah, we do work with people to see if we can come up with, something to help them.
Oh.
There isn't really much if people are using rollators right now in terms of scanning the environment.
Yeah, unless they have the ability to, and very few people have that patience and determination to do that, or they may not have the ability in their hands and such, you know, so, yeah.
Do you guys create products for, like these, I guess, is for the blind?
That would be great,
You
we
guys
don't,
do, oh,
but
okay.
Ambutech does.
Oh, okay.
Ambutech is in, Canada, but they're
Yeah.
also here in the United States too. Their main headquarters is out of Canada, but they worked with, people who are blind, who are inventors,
Yeah,
to change the design, yes.
yeah, but there's a technology now, and so I'm just giving you,
Oh, yeah.
somebody could make a lot of money out of this. But like there's technology in the car, right, like electric vehicles, it's got this amazing AI technology. It knows like what's in front of you. If you connect it to your ear, it tells you like the depth and the, you know, how far it is. Maybe there's some sensor up front, and then you can tell you there's a rock over 5 feet away or whatever, right? I'm just saying. I was
Yeah,
creating
yeah,
something,
you're on the
making some money right now.
absolute right track of
Yeah.
so many engineers that we do have students who used to be engineers, and there are electronic canes.
Yeah.
There's one in particular called WeWalk, and they're now using Ambutech's cane shaft.
Yeah,
And then they have a grip, it started out super fat, like, ugh, who would wanna use that? But
yeah.
if you had a smaller hand, but now they've streamlined it down, it's a little bigger than this. So it's much more usable, but it connects to your smartphone, and it is continuing to evolve. And so, yeah, they are exactly thinking like you on that. And there are more devices that are coming along too to help. But we've never yet reached the point where it stands alone from the cane. We still, because there's glitches in the electronics, do they lose,
Yeah.
you know, the connection, or, but there is another new device that's coming out, next year, I think, will be interesting to see, how it works, yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right, they are trying to blend that, and most of our students are using GPS information, or trying to learn to use that. And it's super important. So we do have a technology department. Nikki is head of our technology. She is blind. She uses the white cane, and she uses a cane just like this, except shorter. And she has had guide dogs also, so she's very experienced. She teaches it, and she uses it in her own life, so she's really awesome.
What I thought was interesting when I talked to Taylor is that California is actually the most progressive as far as Braille institutes. Is that correct?
We're
As far as
only
states
here.
are concerned, yeah.
Yeah, we're only in Southern California. Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
I need to hire
More
me.
you-
I have like 20 inventions. I need financial support.
Okay,
Shark Tank,
there's
Shark
a
Tank.
group that meets at USD. They meet, I think, every Tuesday, and they talk about that with the
okay.
engineering
Oh, man,
department.
I'm about to
Yes, yes, we'll have to put you in touch with them. That'd be great. And occasionally there's an inventor from Qualcomm who contacts us, or from one of the, like UCSD. So yes, we need inventions, absolutely, absolutely. Making it better for
Yeah.
everybody.
Does
Yes.
anybody have to leave in 5 minutes? Because I was just gonna say, if you could do the training on how to walk with that specific person, just in
Absolutely.
case anybody gets called out.
Yeah, so we've got also diabetic retinopathy that you can look at, and glaucoma. And if you, let's see, we need a volunteer, anyone who would like to, John, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
leaning
yeah.
forward. You're not, you are elected. Would you like to pick out a pair of glasses to put on? You will be our VIP. Okay, awesome. So he's picked out a very challenging pair.
No.
No, that's good, it's good, try them out. You can put them on.
What am I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, so he's
Wow.
kind of like light perception, right? You you might make out some objects, but.
Oh, yeah, I see, there's little holes there, I can see where the.
Okay, yeah, so it's a challenge for sure. So I'm gonna say, hi, John, this is Kima, may I help you?
Oh, hi, Kima, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and so if I may, I'm gonna put the back of my hand to the back of your hand, and you can come up my arm to just above my elbow. So you're just gonna glide your hand up, there you go. And he's holding my arm just like it's a bottle of water, a cup of coffee. And John, that automatically puts me a step to a half step ahead of you. Your arm can stay close to your side, your upper left arm,
Okay.
and my arm will stay close to my side so that we will be a predictable space as we move forward. We're just, if you feel comfortable, we'll just take a couple steps forward.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, we're just walking forward. I'm just looking for both of us. We'll stop right here. It's a crowded, congested room, of course. So we come about as far as we can come right here. So we're gonna turn around. I'm gonna turn towards you, and you're gonna turn towards me to your left. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I'm offering my other arm. We're turning the rest of the way around. And in a narrow space, we can do that. And we're gonna come back to the table. My hand's on the table. You can touch the table if you want to, yeah. And we can also turn around, yeah, back around again. If we had to go through a narrow space, what we're gonna do is single file it. So John can use, this is the standard, considered best way to walk with someone, but sometimes that doesn't always work either. Sometimes someone needs the shoulder of their guide. So John could also put his hand on my shoulder. All right. Okay, all right, so, yeah, we were gonna do a narrow space, we would do it differently with this. We'll first do this, because you guys can practice this and that, thank you. And, so, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna stop and tell you it's narrow, John. I'm, in this case, because of how we are right now, I'm gonna step a little bit ahead of you, and then I'm gonna put my arm behind me. You can slide your hand down to my wrist and step behind me. Yeah, you can hold my wrist, and then step behind me and step to your left. Good. Now you can extend your left arm, you can straighten your left elbow if you'd like to. And that way, so you're gonna let this arm straighten out as I walk forward, and then you'll start walking with me. And that way we're single file, and I just glance back to make sure you're there. Now, if I was really feeling confident, I would lead you, John, through this out there, but it's a little too narrow for me to want to do that. So we'll stop right here. Okay, John's really flexible, so we'll just turn around here. So, and then you can bring your hand back up to, there we go. And, okay, good job. You can take those off,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought
excellent.
you were gonna tell me to jump or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you, John, excellent. So you can practice, we didn't do taking a seat, so I don't know if someone would like to volunteer to step up and we'll practice taking a seat. Just, okay, yeah. And if you would like to put on a pair of glasses, we've got diabetic retinopathy. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna say, hi, Jackie. This is Kima, may I help you?
Yes.
And then she's already got my arm. Now, if you can come up to just above my elbow and you can put your thumb on the outside if possible. Sometimes people can't do that, of course, we all know that. So they might have to link arms, right? So, but we're gonna start walking and turn a little bit to the right here, Jackie, as we go forward. And we're coming up to the front of a chair that is against a wall. So there's a wall behind it. And as you come forward, you'll feel with the fronts of your knees, the front of the chair. It does have little arms on it. And nothing's in the chair, so you can turn around and put the backs of your legs to the front of the chair and have a seat. And that doesn't work for everybody, of course. I was with a student this week who, no, it was last week. If he does that, he just falls back. You know, he doesn't have the strength, so he has to crouch and then turn to and so use his hand to support himself as he gets in. So he has his own method. to do it safely. And then, of course, I know you all know all of this too, but sometimes students, they cannot get out of certain chairs if they're too low or if they don't have, so I try to get that information ahead of time. So anyway, okay, so basically, if she had been trained, if Jackie had been trained, when she approached the seat, she would have protected her head as she bent forward, felt the seat, and then turned around and had a seat. She wouldn't have fully trusted me to.
I thought another thing that I know that we talked about too is making sure that the chair is up against a wall or something so that it doesn't tip, backwards, that there's something to catch the chair.
Very good point. If we had a desk chair here, we have a lot of them at Braille, and we, I always offer to hold it still so it doesn't roll away, or spin just as they're trying to. Yeah, so it's always good for people to practice with different types of seating, absolutely. Okay, so with the walker, someone's hands are fully engaged, so they're not gonna be taking my arm. So I'm gonna be walking beside them, talking, and that's where I'm gonna find out what side do they hear me best out of, so that I'm on the right side, and making sure that they are hearing me. And then we'd be going along. Generally, I would presume they would go relatively slowly, although I have worked with people who can go relatively fast in a walker. And if I feel they need to slow down, I will say, I can keep up with you, and I can get the words out fast enough or whatever, so that they understand that. And sometimes people can hang a sign. I have seen students hang signs that say, I have low vision, on the front of their walker. We can tape it white and red with the same reflective tape that's on the cane. They can also wear a pin. This is not the only type of pin, this is just one. This says I have low vision, someone will put it on a hat or something, just to help other people know. So would you like to pair up and practice?
Can I ask one question before?
Yeah.
Where would you place your hands if you were helping someone use a walker? Would you be holding their arm, the walker, standing in front of them, the side of them?
I'd probably be beside them, but I might be, like if it was a threshold they were going over right here, I might be at this point. If the door had to be held open, I'd be here as they were going through. Generally, we say don't touch the walker, let them do it, but if I feel like they're just bumping against the threshold, then I'll say, may I gently lift the front of your walker onto this threshold? I don't wanna, scare you or throw you off. And, because, people have taken falls on those thresholds. So if it's okay with them, then,
And what about like lining up? I know going through a doorway has been really difficult because he has to be pretty centered to not bang his hands on either side. So I'm finding that I do have to position the walker, like I have to move it with him to get it in there. Or what's the best way to line up in a tight area like that?
Wow, okay, yeah. How are you doing it?
I've been standing on the side of him and kind of like one hand on him, one hand here.
Okay, and he's holding on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then just talking a lot, like little to your left, little to your right.
okay.
But I don't know if there's a better.
Does he like that? Is he good with that?
I think so.
Okay, it sounds safe to me. If it's really narrow, then at some point.
And then you have to kind of move behind him and then
Okay.
come back out.
Yeah, so, that sounds reasonable to me. I know with people I've worked with walkers and rollators, it's every time something a little bit different with each person, according to all their abilities. And, so, yeah, it's really just, I haven't met him yet. I looked to see had I ever met him, and I don't think I have. But yeah, I suspect you're probably doing the best thing there, on that, mostly as long as we're talking and forming. That's why putting the glasses on practicing is good, because then you get like, whoa, yeah, I really want you to talk, tell me. Sometimes people talk too much, and so I always ask someone, am I telling you too much information? Do you want more information? How can I best, help you? So get their guidance. Again, always a team, never just, it's on you. It's always on both together to work it out. So yeah, did you want to practice? Do you want to put on macular degeneration? You have a partner. One will be the guide. One will be the VIP or visually impaired person, also very important person. And we could practice just walking straight and then maybe doing a narrow space. Always feel you can stop, say what you're gonna do, and then do it so that it doesn't shock anybody. And then take a seat. Just those three things, right? Walk, narrow space, take a seat, then switch. Then you can get even. So, yeah, that's how it works. So, yeah, so we might wanna, John, we might wanna clear the doorway here so people can step outside.
Who's gonna take my
Behind me.
That's funny.
You would, or you know, you would. Sorry,
Key or
we go straight.
The deer too, 5 o'clock, the deer.
Alright, you guys are ready.
narrow space. Might want to.
Then I'll say that I know by now. Thank you so much, appreciate you.
there enough times that not identified myself.
Yes, and that, I would like that too. I'm not perfect and I forget to say who I am. And when someone says, who is that? I'm like, oh, good, that's perfect. That's exactly what someone wants to do because the majority of people aren't gonna realize that.
So it's
Straighten your arm if you
more,
like.
they feel more secure holding onto you rather than.
And there's going to be a
Yes.
chair on our
Yes.
right hand
Yeah,
side.
because also
around
like
your
with the
2
cane, they
o'clock.
might have their long cane they're
That's- you're gonna need to
using
step
and have you
forward.
on the other side.
And then
so
to
depending
your
on
right.
which, you know,
Do you
free
feel
hand
both
they
your
have.
legs?
And that's
Good. You can reach back
negotiated
and
too,
find
because
one.
like a guide might have an issue with it.
I know it's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
But that way, they are.
I guess that's a natural way of feeling.
Because you would be an awesome guide, someone else, they may suddenly feel, someone who gets distracted in school, they may suddenly feel them go down, so that's why the guys step ahead, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, so they don't wanna, they wanna be able to even have a way, like, for example, go ahead and grab my arm, like, you're gonna help me. Yeah, so she's gonna help me, and I'm thinking, oh, thank you, Julinda, but may I take your arm? So we teach students how to turn that around. I hope I didn't hurt you or anything. So the idea isn't to hurt anybody, but it's just, you know,
We have one
good
resident who won't walk with us because she
Yeah, there's
said
only one.
if the caregiver gets called, they're gonna be distracted and forget about me. So he doesn't trust us that we're the same people. So he doesn't want to walk with most of us. A couple people he trusts. We have to know about that.
And that is a big right, we want to be.
But I might put more
for
right
sure, when we have to